While living through all of this adversity and people accusing them of not caring, I would like to enlighten you as what the downtown businesses quietly gave to our people in need. There were dozens of large blue bins filled with food, with toys, coats, undergarments, boots, socks, diapers, to the Royal City.
Stop! This is fucking disgusting.
To the Royal City Mission.
That'll be. Jesus, come on. You know what? I'm sorry that our pain and suffering is bleeding into your fucking ivory tower.
There's a thing called respect too, right?
We love you, Ray.
I love you, Peanut, but I need to breathe before I can sit
Good.
down and have a
Take a breather.
The Fellowship of Guelphissauga continues with a Conestoga Calamity of rage quits. The first rage quit happened in the Council of Elders chambers while people critiqued the mayor's proposed Safe Space Bylaw. He was getting pushback from the minimum wage earners and lawyers for his proposal to remove the tents, ruining the view from his office window downtown. Meanwhile, in the Ivory Tower, the President of Conestoga College lashed out against the cash cow cap and others. But that didn't stop the mayor from begging the creatures of the province to bail them out. Can Carly of Klassen and the Elder Elves do anything about the housing cost crisis? And will Conestoga's calamity end with a rage quit? As the sun rose over the tent encampment downtown, so did the support for the minimum wage earners living there. Unlike the mayor, who's been trying to remove the tents, ruining the view from his office window downtown, the people of the Shire rallied together in support. They showed up with protest signs and called out the mayor for his inhumane proposal to boot the homeless with a Safe Space Bylaw. The Council of Elders sat for several hours as the protesters filled the chambers with their cries for help and threats of lawsuits. I'm trans, so I might be homeless one day because I'm trans, one trans person cried aloud. Another person, who didn't need to mention their sexuality, but did mention their legal background, basically said they would file a lawsuit against the Corporation of the Shire if the mayor's Safe Space Bylaw was approved. The tension in the room eventually boiled over when one guy couldn't handle all the virtue signaling from a speaker and left the room in a rage quit. But all the purple hair and rage quits didn't bother the mayor. He was determined to restore the scenic view from his office window and his Safe Space Bylaw. After taking a bathroom break at the request of Philo the Alts, the Council of Elders retreated to their secret meeting room to seek legal advice. The lords of a provincial court had already struck down a similar bylaw in Kingston, and so the mayor had to retreat from his plans. In a 9-3 vote, the Council of Elders agreed to simply delay the Safe Space Bylaw until a court case in Kingston was concluded. The mayor will have to wait until that happens before he boots the homeless people from downtown, like the hundreds of tents that were removed by force in Edmonton. Meanwhile, at Conestoga's Ivory Tower, their president was dealing with the newly imposed limit on next year's crop of cash cows. With the stroke of a pen in the ruins of Ottawa, a 35% reduction in the number of international student permits was announced, along with post-secondary institutions having to guarantee housing options for incoming students. This year, Conestoga admitted close to 30,000 international students, but only had 900 residential units available, Conestoga's president was pissed off by the new conditions on his favorite cash cows and took out his rage on the president of Sioux College. The recent changes are not helpful for students trying to apply to Canada and contribute to our economy, and there will be an impact on employers attempting to hire qualified personnel, he said ironically. More than 75% of Conestoga's international students already had degrees from other universities, so adding their diploma from Conestoga was not helping their resume. Employers across the Shire were actively banning job applicants from Conestoga College since they were well aware of its diploma mill business model. Conestoga's president took out his rage on the president of Sioux College and called him a whore for taking money through a partnership with a private college in the swamps of Toronto. A few days later, Conestoga's Board of Governors apologized for his comments and said they were concerned about what he said. He should have called out the president of the Shire's University instead of Sioux College for profiting from private-public partnerships. The Shire's University finished last year with their fourth consecutive budget deficit, going $20 million more in the hole. They expect to continue that trend until 2027, or when they get bailed out by the creatures of the province. To deal with their multi-year million-dollar deficits, the Shire's University plans to do what Conestoga's president accused Sioux College of doing. Using a classic bait-and-switch business plan, the Shire's University was chasing public-private partnerships to deal with their million-dollar deficits. Originally, they were planning to partner with Navitas, but received pushback from all their staff. The presidents of all 7 employee groups signed a letter to their board of governors in full opposition to any plan to privatize any portion of the teaching at the university through a contract with Navitas or any other for-profit corporation. But that opposition didn't stop the university from switching it up. While they paused their talks with Navitas, the university also made a deal with a private university in India. They plan to partner with Lovely Professional University, a private, for-profit university in India started in 2005 by the Lovely Group. They're known for owning and operating a series of companies, including car dealerships and bakeries. The deal came as a surprise to the university's Faculty Association president. It is shocking that while facing strong opposition to their Navitas initiative, the administration did not think to mention to the UGFA or the university community that there were separate discussions with a Lovely Professional University. Back at the mayor's office downtown, he stared out the window at the growing tent encampment and was concerned about the university's multi-year million-dollar deficits. So he wrote 2 separate letters to the Minister of Colleges and Universities begging for additional financial support for the Shire's University and Conestoga College. He asked them to spread the new cap on cash cows with fairness and integrity before the university goes broke in 2027 and Conestoga's president rage quits his job. Can Carly of Klassen and the Elder Elves do anything about the housing cost crisis? And will Conestoga's Calamity end with a rage quit? Stay tuned here to see. This video is brought to you by people who like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can also support my work by buying me a coffee.